All right, thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to make another busted canvas, and this one's going to be very appropriate for Halloween or for all of you people who like spooky things and creepy things. I'm really excited to share it with you. So what I'm going to be using is a 12 by 12 canvas. I got this 2-pack at Hobby Lobby for $4.99, so $5. You get two, so basically they're $2.50 each. They're not as cheap as the Dollar Tree, but you're still not breaking the bank when you make this. You can still use the Dollar Tree canvases. I just chose this one because I wanted the size, and Dollar Trees are I think the largest they have are 8 by 10, and I wanted something larger, and I also wanted something square for this particular project. So one of these, and I'm going to be painting the front and using the back, the busted out part, with scrapbook paper. And this is a leather, fake leather. It's not really pleather, it's paper leather. I guess it is pleather. Again, for the insert part, I'm using foam board. This is foam board from the Dollar Tree. It's left over from my other project that I did. So that you'll need, probably it's a good idea to have a ruler and a pencil, some cutting implements for cutting the canvas and cutting the paper and everything else, a brush, paint. If you're going to be painting things, you do need Mod Podge or some decoupage material. I've got a special little thing here that I'm going to add later, and I'm going to use this as a burnishing thing. It's for my Cricut, but it'll work for getting the things on smooth, especially the paper. And then the piece de resistance, the item that I'm going to be using as the centerpiece in the busted canvas. Now, I've seen these done with napkins, and the other one that I did in my other video was just I printed off a picture of Roland and put it on. For this one, it's going to be for Halloween. It's going to be for something creepy. And I have Mothman. I love Mothman. He is a West Virginia cryptid, legend of Mothman that happened down in Point Pleasant. So he's going to be my focal point for this project. So let's get started. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take the canvas and get it out of the package and decide what I want to do with it. Now, there's a couple of things you can do with these. You can take the scrapbook paper and cover them. You can paint them. You can put them in fabric. You can do whatever you want. But for the sake of this project, I am just going to paint it. I have this paint picked out. It's Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. It's metallic acrylic paint, and this is in zinc. I thought this would go with the colors that were in Mothman's the image that I had. So that's what I'm using. All right. So for this, I'm just going to paint on the color, and that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Is that a good? Okay, so we'll take that off to dry. Okay, so while we're waiting for the other canvas to dry, what I'm going to do next is work on the part of the thing that's going to be showing through, that's going to look like it's busting through. What I did was I measured this here, and I cut out foam core to fit inside. So it's going to fit inside here, inside the canvas, and that's what's going to hold the image that's going to look like it's busting through the canvas. This is my digital image of Mothman. And I'm just going to put this on here, decoupage medium on it, and that's pretty much all you have to do. This is this burnishing tool. I did get this at the Dollar Tree. It's in the craft section. It's actually for a Cricut vinyl. It's for vinyl, but it does an amazing job getting the bubbles, because that's what it does for vinyl. Getting the bubbles out of your decoupage items too. He's a little long on that side. All right, so that's Mothman, and I am going to put more decoupage on the image itself. Okay, the canvas is dry now, and the next part will be to put the busted part, the part that's going to show when we cut this open. It's going to show on the outside. So that's where this comes in play. And I took the measurement from the foam core that's the same size as the interior of this and transferred it over onto the paper. So then all I have to do is cut it to fit. So the decoupage medium might absorb a lot on this canvas because this canvas does not have any gesso or anything on it. So this is the pure canvas. So this kind of can be kind of porous. So you may want to get good adhesion. You want to make sure you put a lot of the decoupage medium on it. I found that out in the other one that I made, that it was quite porous. So when you do this, you want to make sure that you have it. So when you put the part that's going to be busting out of the canvas, you want to make sure you put it printed side. So the printed side is what you're seeing. Because if you don't, then it won't work. So printed side forward. And then on the other one, I went ahead and just gave it a light coat. And as you can see right here, that didn't stick very well. So you want to make sure you get good adhesion to this and that it sticks. And this is where this thing would come in handy if you have one, to just push everything out and get all of those nice little bubbles gone. Okay, so the front is now dry and the back is now dry. So the next thing, this is how I like to do it, is I just kind of mark the center of the piece. And give yourself a guideline. And you kind of make the X marks the spot kind of thing. And then on the last one, I did it from this side, but it was a smaller one. So from this one, since it's larger, I think I'm going to try to start on this side. And I cannot see my marks. So let's do it this way. Let's give it a cut this way. And we'll do it with a cut. I can see that one. And I put the mat down since I'm doing it on the, since I'm doing it this way, I think that I want to protect the table. And really all you need to do is just get it started. And I found that scissors work a lot better. So if you just get it, so you just get that part started and just cut down your line. You don't want to cut all the way, and it's going to depend on how far you cut based on what your image looks like. So if you have most of your image right here in the center, you probably don't want to make it as big. But where mine has more image up in the top part where Mothman is, I may want to make the cuts a little bit wider. So I'll just have to see once I put it in here how I want it to do. Now, at this point, this is the 4, so this is basically just 4, and you can decide if you want to make 2 cuts here or just 1 down in the middle. So it's the more cuts you make, the more bust you'll have on the outside, if that makes sense. I do have to say this canvas seems a lot thicker than the Dollar Tree canvas that I used in the last video, and I'm sure that this one is probably a little bit, maybe a better quality canvas than the other one, even though it also was a bargain canvas since it wasn't from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so once you've got your busted part done, then you want to put in the image. And I'm going to put him in here. He's bent a little, he got a little warped in the drying process. So I'm going to see how I want this to go. If I want to cut more out, I think that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be, I think that's going to be big enough. The hole is going to be big enough that you'll see most of the image. So if you're here making this with me, I'm assuming you might like the Mothman. And if you do, drop a comment about why you like the Mothman, because I'm curious, especially if you're not from West Virginia. I'm from West Virginia. I grew up there, born and raised, and I lived about an hour and a half away from Point Pleasant. So I had known of the story of the Silver Bridge and the Mothman legend before he became very, very popular. I remember when the Mothman Prophecies movie came out, and we were all so excited because, you know, it was a movie about us, and then it was filmed in Pennsylvania, I think. So, yeah. All right, so I've got my little handy dandy finger thing because when I did this the last time, I burnt myself. So now, this is the part. This is the fun part. This is the part we make that it's the busting part. So I'm going to go around and twist these in shape, a shape, almost like a cone shape, to have it look like it's busting out. So it's almost like a comic book in a way, like a comic book bust out. So let's see. Probably want to put it on this finger since I'm using this hand. So it's going to be what holds this thing in place. So now we just put a bead of glue on the back edge of this and twist it around and let it go into place. It, like in my other video I did, the project I did the other couple of days ago, I said it was so hot here that my glue wasn't quickly sticking. And this is where the magic happens. So, and however you want to twist these too. So you may want to twist it more, like be more uniform, like I'm trying to be here, or just kind of go organic with it and just let it kind of happen the way it happens. It's really up to you. That's the great thing about art, is that it's really up to you. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with cryptids. I know there was an episode of the X-Files back in the 90s that they mentioned the Mothman, and I was so excited because, you know, growing up in West Virginia, you don't hear things about you very often, and often not. I don't know if Mothman's technically positive or not, but it was cool to hear them mention the Mothman. But just the whole idea of cryptids. I don't know what it is about them, but recently they've just become so popular. And the Mothman, I really wanted to get the Mothman Build-A-Bear because my friend told me about that there was this Mothman Build-A-Bear. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have one. And they sold out within hours. But so I don't know. I don't know why he's so popular right now or why cryptids in general. I mean, I see there's Bigfoot silhouettes, wooden cutouts all over Southeast Ohio. I don't know what the issue is with that, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay. So, we're getting there. We're almost getting to see the star of the show here. Ow. Wow, that was hot. On the one I did earlier, the first time, the one with Roland, my dog, my corgi, I put stickers around it and kind of decorated it and made it kind of cute. That really hurt. And since this one is not by any means cute, I'm going to do something a little different with it. So I'm going to just leave it. Oh wow, that one really does not want to stick. I don't know what's going on with that one. So there's Mothman. There's some strands. I gotta go get some ice for my finger. Wow. Okay, so the special thing I was going to do was I bought this paint, and it's glow in the dark paint. I thought it would be fun to put it around the edge of the image. And then I thought, well, maybe I should put it on like his eyes or something. See, so they'll glow at night. I don't know. We'll see how this is going to work. The glow in the dark paint didn't turn out as nicely as I'd hoped. After drying it and charging it in the light, I put it in the dark and it really didn't glow much. I don't know if it was because it's cheap or if it's because I didn't put enough on it. But I think I'm going to just kind of let that be for now. I'm happy with the outcome of the busted canvas with Mothman. And I think it's going to be a great addition to my Halloween decorations. So thank you for watching. If you want to check out my other one, I have a link right here. And I will see you next time.